to Nerds at the Round Table, where we talk about Marvel, and more Marvel. I am your host, Snails, the Marvel Nerd, and today I am here with King Tut.
Yo, it's King Tut. We're gonna keep this one short, smooth like a vampire, just like this fucking...
Just like Morbius, which is what we're going to talk about now. So first of all, what did you think about Morbius on a scale of 1 to 10, bro?
If I had to take this movie as a solo movie with nothing else attached to it for the time being, I can fiddle with it a year from now, but if it's going up for an awards and everything right now, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe 6.5. With it being apparently in the MCU, I give it a 4.
Like if it was tied to the MCU?
Yeah, if it wasn't, I give it a 7, but since it actually is, I give it a 4. It's been making me a lot more frustrated online. See all these posts saying Marvel's worst reviewed movie ever. It's like, no. Not Marvel.
Nope.
Still Sony.
Sony's
But yeah. What did you think?
Man, I think I would give it a solid like a 5. Like, it was just all right.
It was just there. It was something to watch.
It was entertaining. The story was decent. The ending was irritating. And yeah, that's kind of how I felt, solid 5. And speaking of the story, what did you think of the story? Like, I think it would have been good. It would have been better if they took out the artificial brain or blood aspect.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It was just like,
and it became completely irrelevant by the end of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he didn't need it.
If it's gonna be useless, then don't. You have just like that's not part of the comic.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, just have him be Morbius instead of like altering it slightly and have him be more empathetic and sympathetic, and that's what I'm talking about, bro. We can't have all these empathetic villains all the time, man. We gotta just have villains being villains and having their origin stories being who they are. And if they're a villain, have it be a villain origin story about how they became this villain and how they're villainous. Like,
I didn't see him hold back at all when you got Venom biting heads off of people.
Right. And I mean, like, I will say that the one of the best parts of the movie to me was like the fight scene on the boat itself, because that was one of the only times you saw him like lose it. You know what I mean? And that's what you want. You wanted to see it that whole time, but it was like, oh, he's holding back. And then you get like a taste of it, and you're like, oh man, did he actually kill this woman? And it's like, nah, he didn't. That was his buddy. Like, it's just like, bro, where is the Morbius we want from the comics,
Yeah, he wasn't no weak, like, I'm gonna try to do whatever it takes to not kill people. He was like, I'm gonna go find the dirtiest dirtbag in the ditch and kill that person.
And like, I get that, but like, if you're gonna, he can just essentially be a Venom. Just have him bite heads off people or suck the blood from people who are bad. Then that's how you get him to be an anti-hero. Like,
and I feel like with the artificial blood part, like the fact that they introduced it and shut it down in almost the same sentence, saying like,
yeah,
it's gonna last me for now, but I'm not sure for how long. Then who cares? So if it's not gonna last to the end of this movie, why the fuck is it in here?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, it already went from like it dropped down like 4 hours within just that movie.
Yeah.
Like it's long lasting period. Like, no, it shouldn't have been used. Get some real blood. You don't need artificial blood. You're a doctor. Literally have a facility off in international waters where you can do whatever you want to whoever, and you still got artificial blood. Make it make sense. But besides that, I don't think it was Morbius, but who was your favorite character?
Man, That's tough, man. I think it would have to be Morbius, but like the only reason why is because of the beginning part. Like I really like the opening scene, and I think that like now that he doesn't have the artificial blood, he's gonna become. I hope they don't figure out a way to make him drink some different artificial blood or something like that.
Like we found a perfect concoction of artificial blood.
Yeah. But who is your favorite character?
I mean, I liked Emil. Crown was. I liked how well of a villain Crown played.
Yeah.
It was just how nonchalant they wrote his script, like with the nurse that he killed. It was a 5-second scene. It was supposed to mean all of this shit. I killed the nurse. Don't nobody give a fuck about that nurse, man. Don't nobody care about that nurse. Should have showed him kill a hallway full of people.
Yeah, or something like that. Just go crazy.
Like,
or if you were gonna kill the nurse, maybe like introduce us to the nurse at some point and have her be
exactly
like
she was just fucking random.
It was just like, here's this nurse that he killed, and then it was like,
so random.
I get where you're going, but you're right. I don't care about the nurse.
It'd probably be between Emil and Martine. Martine was cool. Martine was probably the best part of the movie. As much as she was like kind of the problem.
What was your biggest beef with this movie, though?
It's between the blood thing and the Martine coming alive. It just didn't make sense why she needs to be alive.
It also didn't make sense really how she can't, just because she like had a little bit of his blood and then he bit her. It doesn't
exactly.
Like it does. There's no logic.
Like his blood isn't the fucking.
And in the comics,
disease.
he can't turn people like regular vampires, right?
No.
So yeah, no, like none of that. No, none of it.
So yeah, it made no fucking sense. So
yeah.
I mean, unless she's already some type of metahuman.
Unless she took the other.
Know.
Maybe she took. No, it wouldn't make any sense.
No, because homie took both of them.
There were 3 vials though of that
serum,
right?
And he took both of them. He poured both of them in his flash jar.
Okay, yeah, then no.
Yeah, there's nothing else created. There's no way.
That's crazy.
What was your biggest beef?
Man, my biggest beef was the. I understand what they were trying to do with those post-credit scenes. It doesn't. Like, why didn't you? Okay. If you're gonna, so basically, how I interpret the post-credit scene is he comes in because there's quote-unquote spillage from the Doctor Strange spell into other universes, right?
Yep.
So essentially, like, both of the spells that they cast in in Spider-Man No Way Home were flawed in a way, because I mean, like, how is magic this flawed if you cast the spell and it just like kind of works? Like what? Exactly. Like what is that?
Exactly.
It's just like,
who made you Sorcerer Supreme?
Like, do you not fully understand the spell? Is that why you accidentally?
I think it's on more of the like careful what you wish for type thing. You know, you got to be very specific to what you want. I think that must be how that spell worked. But anyways, like, okay, so that's okay. That maybe there's some spillage. That makes sense. Okay, moving on. He comes into the universe, and he automatically knows he's not in the same universe. So he says, like, I hope the food's good here. Like, how does this man have enough of a mind to be like, oh, I just like traveled to a whole new place. I wonder if food's good here. Because where's the last place we see him in prison in the other place, right?
In prison, yeah. And I assume he's just sitting in his cell in prison. And maybe
so he shows up
prisons.
In a different prison uniform, and that prison's first thought is to release him.
Yeah, that too. Like, you don't question why this man's in jail. You just like, oh, he's free. He's fine.
Like, oh, it was an accident. He was here. Why is he wearing a prison uniform?
Why is he even here? Who is he? Do you have a record of him? What about all those questions? That is just, it's just like, pew.
And then on top of that, where did he get his suit?
That's the other thing. The last thing is, Sony, if you're going to put Vulture into the Morbius universe, he can't have the same exact suit, and it can't look exactly the same. There's no way there's exact same parts that look exactly like that. And also, did he make the suit? He wasn't like an engineer, or was he an engineer? What did he do before? He took stuff apart. He was part of damage control before. So it's like, this man, there's no indication that he made the suit. There's no indication that of where he got the suit. It looks like he just got the suit from the universe he came from and just like appeared. It's just like, and then you had a whole design for a suit in a previous movie with Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and you just like scrapped that design and just decided not to even use it. Like, he could have just been in that suit, and then you could have been like, that could have been the bridge between like Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man being in the Morbius and Venom universe. That could have been cool. That would have been way more exciting. We would have been like, oh my god, that suit's the same from, we gotta go look back, that suit's sick. Like, way more exciting. But you just chose to just be like, no, I'm just gonna copy paste this in here. And it looks like a lot of what they did was copy paste. Those are my two big gripes, because it could have made sense. It could have been great, but they just like dropped the ball on the logic. It's just like, why didn't you put a little bit more thought into that? All right, speaking
more thought into everything.
More thought into stuff. Let's talk about that CGI, though.
I don't even want to talk about the CGI.
Okay, it looked to me like the CGI in the trailer was what they focused the most of their money on. Because the CGI from the trailer parts were just like, they still could have been touched up, but they looked the best. The CGI for Hunger was just awful, just terrible. I don't even understand why it was so bad. Some parts he looked so cartoonish, and it just threw me off. It took me out of it. What did you think about these CGI moments?
I think that Sony doesn't have a budget for CGI. Like, most of the movies that even come close to being successful nowadays are their live action movies. They don't require that much. No, I'm just kind of looking at another fault in the Vulture part of it.
What does it say?
So on top of him just having his suit was completely obliterated. He fucking electrocuted the brakes off of it and exploded all the motors, and it's in pieces too. So he shows up with his suit that's completely destroyed, fully intact. Make it make sense, Sony. Make it make sense.
You know what? You're totally completely right. That doesn't make any kind of sense.
I was just thinking about it while we were talking. I was like, what was the last place we saw this?
First of all, he must have really loved that design of that suit to make it twice. If that's the actual suit. And second of all, no, I can't deal with that.
We got a problem, Sony. We're being called out on this one.
So do you think there's gonna be a Morbius 2?
Fuck no.
I think he's just gonna be part of team up movies, and that was just his origin story to get us going.
I think he's gonna be a part of the Midnight Suns. If I don't know if he's
gonna be a part of no Midnight Suns after this terribleness. You gotta keep that.
As long as fucking
keep that over
Sony
there in
doesn't
the Sinister Six.
If for some reason Sony touches Blade, we riot.
Man, they gotta get a rhythm going, and they gotta consult with Marvel on their movies.
More. Like, we know you guys are somewhat doing it. You need Feige in the room anytime you print something.
And take the advice. That's all we ask. Take the advice that he's giving you, because you gotta care a little bit more. Like, it just seems like it's just there's no care, you know?
Like, I think the man who's made 3 movies that are in the top 5 grossing movies ever created in history, something to fucking learn from.
Oh yeah.
Also, I just don't get. Can we just like do an unreleased another end credit scene and just kill Martine off again?
Just have her stay dead.
It makes no sense, bro. Like, she doesn't become anybody.
In the comics, she becomes an actual vampire, I think. But then she gets like jealous of him.
Wait, she's already a true vampire? What? See, how is she a true vampire?
She can't be a true vampire in the movie, but in the comics, for sure.
Yeah, in the comics, she was a true vampire. So for her to be revived and no, no. Kill Martine.
She should have just been a vampire, man.
Hashtag kill
They
off
should have just
Martine.
had vampires in there too, but call them vampires.
Nah, fuck that. Hashtag kill off Martine.
Well, there you have it, folks. We are Nerds of the Round Table. Let us know what you thought about Morbius. As you can tell, we had some beef with it, but
beef? Where's the beef?
it was just all right. All right.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and put in the comments hashtag kill off Martine.
Thank you for watching. Peace out.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.